Well, today we're diving into a story that's really grabbed the headlines recently. It involves a new lawsuit and some pretty serious allegations against Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy, yeah.
Yeah.
This case, it's got a lot of layers. We're talking sex trafficking, assault, and some really big names mentioned as potential witnesses.
That's right. The lawsuit was filed by a man named Joseph Manzaro, and he claims these incidents happened way back in 2015 at a birthday party for Diddy's son, King Combs.
17 he was turning, King Combs. And this party, it wasn't just any backyard barbecue. We're talking a mansion reportedly owned by Gloria and Emilio Estefan. That's where these alleged events went down.
So let's get into Manzaro's account. What exactly is he claiming happened at this party?
Well, he paints a very disturbing picture. He says he was drugged at this party, then subjected to humiliating acts and forced into non-consensual sexual encounters.
Wow. So from there, the lawsuit takes a turn. Manzaro goes on to name some incredibly high-profile people who he claims were present and witness events after this initial alleged assault.
We're talking Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and LeBron James.
Now, those are some serious names to drop. What specifically does Manzaro say about his interactions with these individuals?
Okay, so he describes encountering Gloria Estefan first. He says she saw him in distress, obviously upset about something, and tried to get help for him. But then Emilio allegedly intervened and stopped her.
Interesting. What about LeBron James? Was he allegedly involved in some way too?
Yes, according to Manzaro, he saw James in a bath towel. And James allegedly said something to the effect of, "Y'all better do something about that," referring to Manzaro's state.
Okay. And then JYZ and Beyoncé, how do they figure into Manzaro's account?
Right. So after this, Manzaro claims he was taken to Diddy's mansion, which was nearby, and he says that's where he encountered JYZ and Beyoncé. He alleges Beyoncé asked something like, "What's going on here? Why is this half-naked guy with a mask standing in front of me?"
That's a pretty direct question.
It is. And the lawsuit goes on to describe the alleged response from one of Diddy's associates. They allegedly told Manzaro that Diddy wanted him to see what happens to snitches, that it was part of his punishment.
That's chilling. If true, it suggests a level of intimidation beyond just the initial alleged assault.
Right. So obviously this lawsuit has blown up. Even 50 Cent chimed in.
He did. Where?
On social media. He shared the news story and seemed to question how many people Diddy might have been involved with.
That tracks for 50 Cent.
He does tend to add fuel to the fire.
So how have the people named in this lawsuit responded?
Well, JYZ's lawyer, Alex Skiro, came out swinging. He issued a very strong denial, said JYZ was nowhere near that party because he was in New York at the time, doing a presentation about Tidal, no less.
A presentation about Tidal?
Yeah. Spiro was very specific about that. He basically called the lawsuit nonsense and said it hurts people's trust in the justice system.
Okay, so JYZ's camp is calling BS. What about Gloria and Emilio Estefan? Have they responded to these claims?
They have. Their representative also issued a denial. They said the property mentioned in the lawsuit, it's a family house. They don't even live there full time.
But what about the party?
Yeah, about that. Their representative claims that no parties happened at that property between 2012 and 2019, and they say they've got the paperwork to back it up.
So they're flatly denying that this party even took place. All right, well, beyond this specific lawsuit, Diddy is already facing some pretty serious legal trouble, right?
Absolutely. In September of last year, he was arrested on some major charges, federal charges, racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. Basically, the authorities are accusing him of organized criminal activity.
And remind me, hasn't he been denied bail multiple times?
Yes, he has. Which definitely tells you something about how seriously the courts are taking these accusations.
And on top of that, there are other lawsuits against him as well.
That's right. He's got a lot of legal battles going on.
In one of those cases, it's actually going to trial soon, right?
In May, as it stands.
Wow. So this new lawsuit from Manzaro, it's just adding another layer of complexity to an already difficult situation for Diddy.
No doubt. It's a lot to untangle. You've got these incredibly serious allegations. You've got some of the biggest names in entertainment thrown into the mix.
And those big names, they're not just staying silent, they're pushing back hard.
Yeah, with very strong denials. But here's the thing. Regardless of how this specific case plays out, it really makes you think. What does it say about power and accountability in Hollywood?
That's a good question, especially when you have situations like this where the lines between truth and fabrication are so blurred.
Exactly. And it's not just about the legal outcome. It's about the court of public opinion, the impact on reputations, and the broader conversation about how we hold powerful people accountable for their actions.
Definitely something to consider. We'll have to see how this all unfolds.
Absolutely. It's a case that's definitely worth keeping an eye on.